Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, The Town Watch. My name is Josh Town. Thank you for stopping by today. In this unboxing and first impressions video, we're looking at a watch that I really had no idea about, a brand that I knew nothing about before my friend Chris at the Watch Corner got me in touch with one of his friends named Ross, who sent this watch over. It's a Swiss-made diver from a brand called EPOS, and we're going to take a peek at it in today's video, take a quick look at it. Comes in this watch roll. Now, I'm not sure if they send you a box when you actually buy one of these, but this is what I was sent. And here it is, right here. This is the EPOS 3441DD, and it's a 500 meter Swiss-made dive watch, and it is a pretty cool piece, I do have to say. And we're just going to take a quick peek at it in today's video, give my first impressions, and do stay tuned for a full review in the future. But here it is, pretty cool looking piece, I do have to say. And if you know watches, you see that this watch really takes some inspiration from some other watches in a number of ways. I'll point out some of those things in a little bit, but just some things that I noticed right away when I saw this watch. So we'll talk about those in a second. I'm going to take this plastic off the case back here and take some of these hang tags off too, so we can see this watch a little bit better. All right, got all the hang tags off. I kind of wanted to just showcase the case back here, an open case back. It is using a Solita SW240 movement, and you can see it there with a little bit of the perlage decoration, and you can see EPOS on the rotor there as well. And maybe I'm introducing you to this brand for the first time. I really do not know much about the EPOS or EPOS brand, and if you know anything about the brand, please let me know down in the comments below. But this feels like a quality piece. I mean, it's a 500 meter diver. You get a helium escape valve here on the left side, ceramic bezel insert with the raised markers here. You do get a full date indicator, a full day indicator, excuse me, a full weekday in a unique position over here between the 9 and 12. I think that's really cool. I think it's very unique, something different, and I kind of like that. You do get somewhat of a textured dial here, kind of a sand texture. And this one, it has a black bezel, but the dial itself kind of almost has a gray color, and even in certain lights it almost had kind of a dark blue, but it's looking more toward the grayish blackish side right now as I'm looking at it here under the studio lights. But pretty cool looking piece, nice integrated style bracelet here, and we're going to get some measurements right now with the calipers. So let's check all that out. All right, so the case diameter is coming in a little over 42.5 or so, 42.7 as far as what I'm reading right there. Case thickness is going to come in to be 14.3. Lug tip to lug tip distance is going to be 50.9, and because it's more of an integrated bracelet, we're not going to measure this space right here, but just to give you an idea, at the very top of the case where the lugs come out, we're looking at 27.1 from that point, and then the bracelet tapers down to about 19.7, and then the clasp comes in 21.8 right there. And I do want to measure the crown. It's quite a hefty crown on this watch, so I'm interested to see what the diameter there is. Almost an 8mm screw down signed crown. So those are the dimensions. I'm going to throw it on the wrist real quick, get a wrist shot, show you what it looks like on my 6.5-inch wrist. Alright, so there's a quick idea anyway of how it looks on my wrists. I think I could pull it off, even though it's a little over 50 millimeters lug tip to lug tip. The way the bracelet kind of falls down is not too bad and doesn't feel too big. Feels pretty good, and I'm looking forward to wearing this and doing a full review on it too, so please stay tuned for that. But now I'm going to shut the lights off and we'll check the lume. Alright, there's a quick shot of the lume. Charged it up just briefly with my UV flashlight. It looks like it's coming in an icy blue color. I could not find exactly what lume they're using on the website information anyway, but I'll try and get that for the full review. But you do get a lumed pip on that bezel, and it's glowing pretty good. So again, this watch is a Swiss-made diver, and it has that Sellita SW240 movement, which I assume has a day and a date. That's why it's, you know, not the typical SW200. But a good looking piece are my first impressions. It feels like a quality watch. If you know watches, you probably can see some of the Oris Aquis vibes with the bracelet and the lug system that's going on here, and even that case shape and even the bezel design somewhat. Of course, the bezel insert kind of gives you those Yachtmaster style vibes as well, with those raised markers. And speaking of the bezel, get some of that action. Bezel feels good for what it is. No real back play. Not the best bezel that I've ever felt, but not too bad. Now this watch has an MSRP price on the EPOS website of $1,723. I think they have some deals going on right now around the Christmas season, but that is the MSRP price. Again, it's a screw down crown, signed, 500 meters, water resistant, sapphire crystal. That seems to be a double dome sapphire, and a lot of good specs on this watch. It's definitely a tough piece. The handset also, I noticed, reminded me of the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer handset. If you're familiar with that, you can see the same stylization going on with this handset. But it's a nice handset. The indices are applied really nicely. I do like the large 12 and 9 and 6 that are here. It's a very legible watch, and I do love the dial as a whole. And I am a fan of the full weekday in between the 9 and the 12. You guys let me know what you think of that over there. Love to hear your thoughts about that. Some of my gripes, just quickly with first impressions, would be some things with this bracelet. It seems like might be some sort of pin and collar system. I would have liked to seen screwed pins for the links on this watch. Other than that, the bracelet is finished really, really nicely. You get some polished edges on the outside of these links, and the watch as a whole is finished very, very well. But another gripe would be the clasp. Not necessarily this portion, but the outer fold-over portion seems a little generic to me. Seems like something you'd see on a much cheaper watch. And also there aren't really any micro adjusts, just 2 positions to adjust there. I would have liked to have seen more, and maybe a more stylized clasp that would go with this watch instead of something just generic that you might see on a number of watches. But that's just my opinion on that. Of course, it works just fine, and it is milled here. But overall, very cool watch from a brand I don't know too much about. So love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about this EPOS 3441DD 500 meter diver? I think it's a good looking piece, but I want to hear what you guys think down below. So please let me know down in the comments. Please like this video if you do like it, and do stay tuned for a full review of this cool piece. And if you're interested in any of my other videos, I recently did a state of the collection. So if you want to see what my collection's all about, you can click on this video over here. And if you're interested in getting a gift for yourself or somebody else, check out the DIY Watch Club. There's links to that down below, where you can pick out a fun watch kit for your friends or family or for yourself during this holiday season. But thanks for tuning in to the Town Watch today. We'll see you next time.